So I want to talk about building or creating models from reference and why you should do it. And essentially you should do it because it's going to help you get your proportions right, and when you get your proportions wrong, things tend to look like crap. So especially if you're starting out and you haven't got a background in, say, drawing or other kinds of modeling, then you're going to have to develop some sense of proportion, and the best way to do that is by copying things. So let's go through how to set up an image plane and how to model off it. So I've got this building which I've been working on just for this tutorial. And it is very simple. There's not much going on. And in the background we have this plane which has this image on it. And I've simply grabbed that image from a reference on CG Textures, which is this site. And textures.com, there it is awesome. You can get a free membership which allows you to download a few images like every day. They give you a credit system. So we have industrial buildings like this, neoclassical buildings, anything you like, and the nice thing is that it's all flattened already. If you go and take your own photographs, you're going to have to flatten them using a perspective tool in Photoshop, which is something I can go into if you guys really want that. But anyway, we have a building here, and I've got a cough apparently. So this is what it looks like. It's all made to scale, and if I turn this to see-through, and we'll turn that off high quality, then you can just about see the image behind it. So let's show you how to set this up and how to model with it. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is build a box like this, and I'm going to go into the parameters. I'm going to set the height to 1.8 meters, which is the height of a person, and this means that I can get everything roughly to scale. Then I'm going to build a plane, and this is going to become our image plane, so let's make it about that high. That will do for the moment. And then we're going to make a material for it. So we're going to go into the material editor, and we're going to go down here to the diffuse panel, and I'm going to click that button, click bitmap, and then I'm going to find my image from my computer, which is this one, textures.com. Let's open it, and then I'm going to assign it to the selection. And you'll see nothing happens, it goes grey, and that's because I need to turn on the textures by show shaded material and viewport like that. And there we have our textured object. Now the thing you should note is that at the moment it's not actually, it seems like it's quite in proportion, but it's actually scaling with the plane, so that's just by luck. That happens to be close to being right, so we can get it perfectly right by doing this. I'm going to go into the modifier stack. I'm going to add a UV map, and then I'm going to set the aspect ratio by doing a bitmap flip, and that's going to take me back into my file dialog, and I'm going to choose the same image, and that's now the correct proportions. And you can see that it's quite close to being the right scale as well. So that guy is a little bit too big for this, so let's fix this. So I'm going to expand this plane to fit my image, my texture. And you can see that if I go too far, then let's go back to front view again. If I go too far, then it will clip over the edges like that. So I'm just going to scale it down to roughly there, and then I'm nearly right, but I think that my image plane needs to be just a tinsy wince bigger, and the easiest way to do that is just to scale it. So I'm going to scale it uniformly by clicking on this center triangle and just press W and then move up into place to be about there. And that's sorted out my image plane, and then I'm just going to drag it back a bit so that it doesn't get away in of anything else. Then what am I going to do? I'm going to freeze this. So then I won't be able to click on it and move it by accident. So I'm going to go into displays, and I'm going to click on freeze just so you see what's happening. It's pre-selected and everything goes grey, so I don't want that. So I'm going to unfreeze it, unfreeze by hit, and we're going to go down into the display properties, and we're going to turn this off, show frozen in grey. And now I can freeze selected, and now you can see I can't click on it, but that's great. So now I'm going to build another plane. So I want to make sure that I'm in the front viewport, because if I'm not in the front viewport, this will get dragged onto the floor like that. So go into front, press F, and we're going to make a plane like that, just covering over my image like that, and you can see I can't see anything again. So I'm going to go into display properties, and this time I'm going to go down here, and we're going to turn on see-through like that, and you can see I can see through my plane like that. Now because I'm going to fill this full of edges, I'm going to dial the lens segments down, and you can see that happening. If I press F4, then all my edge segments will go away. You can also do this, just show edge edges here. So once I've got that set up, now I'm ready to start modeling. So I'm going to right click on here, convert to editable poly, and that's going to bring up my modeling ribbon. If you don't see the modeling ribbon, then you need to turn it on. So you click on that button and this little button to drop it down like that. And then I'm just going to cut some holes for these. I won't go through the whole process, so we're just going to maybe do a little bit of it, and we'll jump into the final version. So let's draw an edge here, which is going to be the top of my window, and another one here for that line, and then we draw some verticals like that. And I'm just drawing right in the middle because I'm going to cut a hole out for this stuff. So here, have another one here, and we are going to have that edge and that edge. So that'll do for the moment. We're going to get these guys up here as well. I think that one, and actually that's actually the top of the building. So you can model with this almost straight away. So maybe I'll just draw a little edge just right up close there, like that. So the first thing we can do is we can actually pull out that little edge there. So just go into the side view and choose some of these vertices, and you can see I've made these really close little vertices here. So I'm just going to grab that and press pull that out. I'm going to grab this and pull that out as well, like that. And then that's kind of the top of the ledge, so let's just drop it down there like that. And there we go, so that's all nicely modelled. And then down here we've got this little ridge as well, so we can just simply do that, and then shift click to that, and I can do extrude like this, pull that out like that. And actually I think it's slightly protruding on here. It's like some sort of facade or something, so let's just grab those faces and just push it forward ever so slightly like that. Maybe that can go a bit further again. Whoops. These little edges might get in the way, so I could delete them. But for the moment, go to the left view and we'll just pull that out like that, and then I think I will delete these guys like that. Okay, so that's some of our edging done, let's talk about these windows. So just bash these windows out here. So let's do pair. So we're going to go back in swiftly and we'll do that one and that one. And we can probably go back and get those doors later, but this will show you the basic of the process. So I'm going to take that, and I'm going to need this later. So what I'm going to do is, where's it gone? Detach that. I'm going to detach it to a separate object. Okay. And then this polygon and this polygon, I can just delete them to make some holes. And because I've detached the object, you can see it's already see-through, but if I wanted to make a new object, then I'd have to also make it see-through. So we can now start building with this new object here. And I just want to get this little window edge, so we're going to take that polygon, and I'm going to go inset like that. And then we're going to get the outer loop by using the border tool. And then I'm just going to scale outwards like that. And upwards like that. There, I think. Maybe massage it a bit by hand. Something like that. Doesn't need to be crazy accurate. So you can see I've got this bottom ledge. So let's grab this bit here. So we've just got the surround at the moment. So I'm just going to, we're going to do this. I'm going to need this polygon later, so I'm going to clone that to an element, delete that, get my border again, and once I've got those two borders selected, I can now shift, drag outwards, remembering to use the axis constraints on the little transform icon there, and then I'm just going to move, so you can see the front of my wall there, and I just want this to protrude out ever so slightly, so let's just drag that, select those vertices and move it forward like that. And that's the first part of the surround for the window. And then I want to model this bit, and I'm just going to slice into this little plane a bit to do that. So just get it roughly in place. Yeah, we could do it like this. So let's grab that edge, just drag it down ever so slightly, and then drag it down again, and then I'm going to drag it back. That one back, pull that forward, and I can drag the whole thing forward into place. Like that, I think. So you can see it's perfectly flush, and I actually want it to clip through, because what I don't want to happen is like light bleed through these edges when I render it. So just go up here, and I'm just going to scale it so it's ever so slightly bigger, just to make sure we don't get any rendering glitches. That's pretty good. I think this might be a bit too far out, so let's just push it back ever so slightly. Alright, so what we have here is actually that window. So let's just drag a copy over there. And you can see my pivot point is way over here, so let's just reset that. So I'm going to go into Tools. No, I'm going to do it here. It's the Effect Pivot only. And we're going to center it to the object, and that'll just drop the pivot point there. And now I can drag this over by shift dragging once more, and that's going to clone that, place it there, copy that. And now, so we can expand this down to there, And these two things are the same size. I mean, this is kind of the point of the lesson, really. So they're in proportion. They're the same size. So, whoops. Let's cancel that. We want to make sure that we're in element mode. Select that bit. Drag it down to there. So now we have our two different windows like that. So once I've got those guys, I can drag stuff into place, so that. And the cool thing is I can make that an instance. So if I do any modifications to that window, as I'm going, it'll get carried over to the other window as well. So that's going to be an instance. This one's going to be an instance as well. Instance. Go back to front view, line it up. Drag that one over there. And when we've got a few instances, we can drag two together. Oops. Make sure I click on the right thing. Control click to select two objects. Shift drag again. Place them. Another instance. There you go, so that's all my window frames done. So what I really should do is go and slice up all the holes for them as well, but I'll leave that. So let's just talk about these windows. So I want to make, I'm going to use a fixed window from the primitives, so let's go into Windows. I'm going to choose fixed, and I'm just going to drag one out on the ground. So drag for width, you can see in the creation method it says width, depth and height over to the right there. So width, depth, then height. That gives me my window. And you can see again it's like it's totally hiding everything. So let's go back to the display panel and we're going to make it see-through. And then we're just going to drag it into place over there. And again I just want to clip the edges ever so slightly, so I'm going to get the center in there. And let's start adjusting proportions, so let's drag the width down. And see what I've done is I forgot to reset the angle. So if I look at it from the top, you can see it's off. So that's the problem with these windows. Let's right click on that. And we want to set the Z angle to some multiple of 90. So if it's 90, it's going to be there. But we want it to be 0. So I'm going to get back to front view now. And everything should line up properly. So I just want this window frame to sit inside my big sort of facade bit of moulding. So just knock this down ever so slightly. It's way too high, so let's knock that down as well. And then we can amp up the horizontal width and the vertical width to get our thickness. Tweak the measurements ever so slightly. Something like that, I think will do. And then we can add our window panes. I think it's like 6 by some large number. So let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Something like that will do. We'll just beef up some of the thicknesses. So I think glazing of 2mm is a little small, so we just make that 1 centimeter, and we'll just amp up these rails a bit as well. And that thickness, something like that will do. And then again, we can copy this, shift, make that an instance, because these windows are the same. Drag them into place down there. This window is very similar, so let's just drag this, and this is not going to be an instance. So let's just say, for example, I do make it an instance, and I start adjusting the height. All those will come with it, so I don't want that. So we're going to make it unique by clicking on this button over here. Now I can drop the height down, make it fit. Like that. That's nicely in place. And then we're just going to drop the vertical panels down to something that feels right, like that. I'm not going to go into cutting in the rest of it because you can sort of see what's happening. So we're going to skip through sort of a little bit and imagine that I've done all of this, and I'll just show you a little bit of materials.